Good afternoon, Graka Machel team. Here is Peter Ngora from Nairobi. Putting in a new video, a 2-minute video, trying to do that. The other one was quite wrong and I didn't have the time to edit it. My apologies. So I want to give my reasons for really being interested to working with the organization. One, as I said, is it's very inspiring working with powerful readers and inspiring readers who are members of your organization, especially the founder, the trustees, and also the implementing team. I do feel that your organization has a very strategic opportunity to leverage on having a powerful and renowned women's rights advocate and a respected stateswoman in Africa. I feel we got this challenge of exploring more and powerful ways of leveraging her presence, her advocacy, her being the founder of the organization, her networks, her connections, her influence and aspirations. So I would be very interested in being part of the team that explores that. And two, I'm very excited working on human rights and especially women's rights and children's rights, especially girls' rights, because they suffer most, really, they suffer most. And yeah, badly, this timing, I think I see the timing right, and I'm obsessed with this timing thing. Looking at the global accord, the global focus on climate change. The entire world is in momentum, is in one accord, is in sync to really work on turning around, climate change effects. And I feel it's time for the African advocacy, gender equality advocacy, to take advantage and leverage, on this wonderful global opportunity. So that's of high interest to me. It is because I've seen it work. That's how I turned around AMREF's youth. It was actually a failing youth program, well funded, but they didn't have a good niche. So I looked for this niche, found it in the most challenging aspect, the sexual reproductive aspect that the girls in nomadic settings faced, girls and women. I found it was a female genital mutilation and child marriage. And years ahead, even a few years ahead of the global momentum, I already focused and positions AMREF's work on that. And it's amazing. The world met us going, and it just took us over, and poof! We took the world. We took over the world. Honestly, with getting into global awards and training women advocates, training girl advocates and youth advocates, and man, they took over the world. So this is why I'm obsessed with timing, and you find it even in my broader goals. So 3 of my broader goals, number 1, as I've said, is I would want to tie our work, the trust work to the moment, to the advocacy global moment, or to the global advocacy moment, the climate change. So my idea is we need to tie. It's already there, but we need to bring out very clearly and powerfully. We need to train women and girl advocates and community advocates to bring out the connection between climate justice or climate change and gender justice or gender equality. And then we tie to agriculture. Because that we want the benefits, we want the funding, the global funding that's so available to come. And actually my goal would be to narrow the gender agricultural gap, the gender gap in agricultural productivity. Making sure that women have access to the essential inputs, as I said, RAD, and we have credit, we have labor, we have extension service, etc. We have also the infrastructural development. And here again, not for me, clean energy will be key. That's another big opportunity. We must advocate and we must train African women and girls and communities to advocate for solar, for affordable, accessible solar energy. And because if Africa can't attain this, where else? We are in the tropics. It's free. We should have registration that empowers us. So how I would put it is that we would advocate for the transfer, access, and adoption of gender-sensitive and climate-smart technologies. Now then, that's where we find the solar energy. Yes, that is about the equality. I would be talking about equality to economic participation and opportunities. And coming to human development area, I would still advocate for education and in-demand skills, especially for girls and women after primary school, secondary school, vocational skills, university, college, yeah, and also personal safety. Personal safety, it's tying again very well with our moment or our advocacy moment, the climate change, because personal safety, I would be looking at sexual and gender-based violence and traditional harmful practices, FGM and child marriage, the need to eradicate, the need to accelerate their eradication, because they also affect, again, climate change, because actually they tie to that. And many, because of the climate adverse effects of climate change, many girls are given in child marriage and they must be forced fast through in FGM. So it's time, it's time. And the third objective for me would, in terms of equality in before the law and institutions, gender equality before the law and institutions, I still would advocate for equality before the law for women, for us, laws to be equal, laws to be, or registration to be equal. Women should, be equal, just as men before the law. And also for their active participation as citizens, their representation, their voice. But I would also add that we need their representation, their voice in the climate change debate. We also, and decision making. They need to sit, African women need to sit in those global and even regional, continental and national, institutions and initiatives that are leading on bringing climate change solutions, because women are very well placed to bring in sustainable and lasting solutions, because they are the guardians of the African climate, because they are the guardians, they are the agricultural, producers, they are the food producers, they are the people, they are the main pillars of agriculture and nature conservation in Africa. So they can't be left out. So thank you so much. And this is it. That's what I would be looking to do. And let me bring in this aspect that's very interesting too. It would come into economic opportunities. The first one, the goal. I am very excited. I see you have a gender lens investment fund in your organization. To me, I think that's very innovative. I've looked for information about it more. I can't find much. To me, I would want to work with your team to strengthen that. I'm very interested in strengthening African philanthropy or philanthropy. I feel that it's great. Africa is able to give towards gender equality. We should be able to advocate for that. And if we do that, it would open ways for more Africans to give. And, it's not we don't have that culture. Although Africa is so generous, I don't know, when it comes to money, we are so stuck with it. We are so mean with it. But I feel that it's time we promote African philanthropy. And I would be very interested in working with your team to work on this, and also looking for funding and for innovative partnerships, even from places, non-traditional sources like the Middle East, other places, So I feel they have the money, but they are also very poor. They have a lot to learn from us in terms of gender equality markers. They can learn from us too. And they are reaching out these days into partnering with Africa. It's interesting. So that's it. And thank you very much, and wish you all the best in this initiative of getting the advocate manager for your organization. Thank you very much, and my apologies for not having actually done the 2 minute before. I still think this is past 2 minutes, but thank you very much, and all the very best.